My topic for today is going to be the impact of the pandemic on the web services industry in South Asia. Yesterday, I focused on MSMEs. Today, I'm going to focus on web professionals. And web professionals, and many of you listening are web professionals. You help small businesses come online and succeed online. For us at the Endurance Group, web professionals have been a very important customer audience for many years. Our brands like Reseller Club and Logic Boxes have been serving web professionals for the past 15 years. And we cherish a partnership and look forward to continuing working with you over the next several years. So let's talk a little bit about a recap from yesterday. We had talked yesterday about the journey of MSMEs during the COVID times. And I'd like to go back in history a little bit and start with 2010. So if you recall, in 2010, we had very limited MSME first solutions. And majority of MSMEs were using very basic feature phones. And as you fast forwarded 2011 to 2015, we saw the emergence of e-commerce and the aggregator model, and Amazon launched in the country. And we had a lot more e-commerce, particularly in 2015. E-commerce actually became very prominent. And then further fast forward to last year, by 2019, we had many mobile-first solutions for Indian MSMEs, not just solutions like Google My Business, but Paytm, Khatabook, etc. And then the pandemic hit us, and today in 2020, what we're seeing is the rising digital acceleration for MSMEs amid COVID. And this is really about MSMEs wanting to build their own e-commerce storefronts, not just being happy on aggregators or third-party mobile apps. So it's a very, very important development right now for many of us, like I said, who are web professionals and help MSMEs come online. So when we think about MSMEs coming online and particularly transforming their businesses digitally, what is it that MSMEs really want? What they really want is to firstly engage their customers better, secondly, manage transactions at a distance remotely, thirdly, deliver their goods efficiently, and then collect payments promptly. And while doing all that, they want very high systems reliability, security, and data privacy, as well as they want great employee productivity. So if you think about everything an MSME needs to transform digitally during COVID times, it's a highly complicated aggregation of all of these needs. And it's very important to note that all of those complex needs cannot be managed by an MSME by themselves, because they firstly don't have the expertise and secondly don't have the time. And just like in the past, MSMEs have traditionally relied on web professionals because India is still a do-it-for-me market. So keep that in mind, is for those of you who are web professionals and see a lot of interest on e-commerce solutions or digital transformation, those MSMEs will come to you for help because you're the ones who've traditionally been helping them over the years. Today, we have over 1 lakh web professionals in India, and many of you are the trusted advisors to MSMEs because they trust you to not just help build their online presence, but to help grow their business online. And when we talk about web professionals, what do we mean? We're actually talking about a range of businesses, starting from website developers and designers, to digital agencies, to product resellers, and IT service and app developers. All of you have traditionally helped MSMEs develop several different point solutions over the years. I think now is the time to be able to aggregate many of these solutions to help MSMEs transform their businesses in the digital environment. So what we have found is that many web professionals who traditionally were just doing basic web presence solutions like static websites in the old days have themselves upskilled and evolved to providing a wide range of web presence solutions, also providing e-commerce and digital marketing solutions, and productivity and collaboration solutions, again, to aggregate together all of the needs that an MSME has today. So Endurance Group also did a survey of a lot of our web professional customers, and we asked them, what are the services that are in demand during the COVID times? What have you found? What are people coming to you for? And what web professionals tell us is majority of people coming to them are still to build their websites with e-commerce functionality integration. Those are the two top services that today MSMEs ask web professionals for. But many MSMEs are also asking for their own custom web and mobile apps to run their businesses, right? And once they come online, they're asking for discoverability tools like SEO and SEM. In addition, what many web professionals tell us today is that there are an increasing number of MSMEs that are demanding for local content websites. Perhaps not as much as English today, but still a whole lot more than what we saw previously. Again, that tells you something about the MSME audience that wants to come online from tier 2 and tier 3 cities. And when we ask the same web professionals, where is the demand coming from within India, they said the demand's not just coming from tier 1 cities, but cumulative 50% of demand is actually coming from tier 2 and tier 3 cities, right? And the sectors where this demand's coming from is primarily education, technology, and retail. Again, all the sectors that need to come online to either survive or to come online to grow, because that's where the growing consumer demand is. So what I've tried to share with all of you is that the demand for MSME services online continues to grow during the pandemic. For those of you who are web professionals, you should remember that MSMEs continue to trust you and look out to you to help them. So you will see continued increase in business. And I would just encourage you to keep reaching out to MSMEs, educating them, and helping them with these solutions. Thank you for listening. I'll open up to Q&A, and then after Q&A, I'd encourage you to keep listening through the end of the day. We have, again, a wonderful set of sessions that will come after me during the day, so please stay tuned. And now I'll open up to Q&A. So I've got a couple of questions that have come in. First is, what are few opportunity areas for web professionals? And then second, which is related, is if demand's coming from tier 2 and tier 3 cities, how important are features like vernacular content? So I'll try to address both of them together. So in my presentation, I spoke about, if you think about 3 areas of opportunity. One is just in terms of solution set, is moving beyond just basic web presence, which is domains and websites and hosting, into digital marketing and e-commerce, and then into productivity and collaboration applications. Why all these areas? Because today an MSME may want you to help them with many areas, not just a basic website. So one area of opportunity is enhance your skills in multiple areas, in multiple product categories. The second opportunity is the verticals we talked about. So we spoke about education and retail really picking up during the pandemic, right? And so in particular, retail for obviously e-commerce, and then education for a whole slew of educational and video solutions for educational institutions to reach out to customers globally, students globally. So it's education and retail are 2 very key verticals during the pandemic. And then third, if you look at region or geography within India, much more than metros, we talked about tier 2 and tier 3 cities. And yes, for tier 2 and tier 3 cities, while English is still generally fine, as you start going into the heartlands of India, we talked about this yesterday, is you'll have to think about the 3 Vs, right? Which is voice, vernacular, and video. And whether it is using those 3 Vs to actually reach out to your customers, to create content for them, to support them, to market to them, to work with them, I think you're going to have to think beyond English, particularly as you start getting deeper into into India. So those are the 3 areas of opportunities that I would call out. We have a couple of great keynotes coming up. So Pari Natarajan, who's CEO of Zenove, is going to talk specifically about not just certain opportunities, but he's tried to frame out the value of those opportunities for web professionals. So stay tuned for that. And then we've got a really good MSME panel um, with Jazz from Now Floats and Ame from Geo. And they'll talk a little bit more about, again, what are the things MSMEs are looking for. So again, that translates into opportunities for web professionals. So stay tuned. A lot of great sessions, and you'll get answers to a lot more of these questions as we go along. Thank you again, and stay tuned. Take care. Bye.